Seriously, this pizza was going around without a name forever. Pizza is one of the most popular foods out there, and by this point, pretty much every possible topping that could go on a pizza has most likely ended up on one at least once. Yet, while we could put vegetables, meat, or even pineapple if you really wanted to on a pizza, one of the most popular kinds of pizza is a version with minimal on it. This popular pizza consists of just tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and a little bit of basil. It is really everything you need and nothing you don't, and of course, it's called a margherita. Yet, despite how popular the margherita is, I feel it often gets a tad lost in the shuffle in the world of pizza today. People are so driven in trying to find the wackiest toppings for a new kind of pizza to get social media attention. Like when I was in Florida, I honestly had a fried chicken and waffle pizza with maple syrup on top. It's one place called Hungry Howie's. I'd never heard of Hungry Howie's before. If you're Howie watching this, if you're eating Hungry Howie's when you're watching this, wow. That's some intense pizza you have there in Florida, or maybe the rest of the US, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like fried chicken and waffle pizza would like break an Italian or something. But all these nonsense pizzas are making the humble margherita fall to the wayside a bit, I feel. Compared to a fried chicken and waffle pizza, it does seem kind of boring. Especially in our modern age of sensation overload where everything needs to be as loud and bright and shouting at you as possible. But yeah, honestly, I think there's beauty in the simplicity of a margherita pizza. When done right, very little comes close to it in taste, in my humble opinion. While I could just spend this entire video confessing my love for the margherita, I ought to talk about its name. This is Name Explainer after all, right? And in most cases, flavors and styles of pizzas are named after where they were first created. Like how a New York pizza is named after New York, or the Neapolitan pizza is named after the Italian city of Naples. Though technically the margherita is a type of Neapolitan pizza, but don't think about that too much. But anyway, that name of margherita unto itself doesn't relate to any part of the world. There's actually a really fun story about how this pizza got its name, and it's become pretty well known today. And this story, of course, takes place in Italy. Where else could it possibly be set, right? Italy was unified into a single nation in just 1861. Prior to this, the land had been a series of smaller city-states, and by 1889, just a few years after its unification, this kingdom was under their second king, one Umberto I. While on a tour of this kingdom along with his wife, Margherita of Savoy, they had an extended stay in the city of Naples. By this point, Naples had become famous for its pizza, and the king and queen wished to eat the finest pizza the city had to offer. So because of this, Naples' most celebrated pizza maker, one Raffaele Esposito, was summoned to them. To please the king and queen, he made 3 different kinds of pizza. One featured garlic, one featured anchovies, and the third was simply mozzarella, tomato, and basil. It was this third one the Queen Margherita liked the most. She enjoyed it so much as the colours of the 3 main ingredients were the same as the Italian flag. And what I find interesting about this one is the fact that no retelling of this story actually says she liked the taste of the pizza. It just said she likes the colours of it, the fact that the basil was green and the tomato was red and the cheese was white. Can you imagine only enjoying food that has the same colour as your flag? I'm going to try and find a meal that is exclusively red, white and blue for like the Union Jack. I can't think of any naturally occurring blue food right now. If you can, let me know down below. I don't want to eat like some weird processed blue candy or something like that. Just an actual, I don't know, some sort of blue vegetable. Are there any blue vegetables? Why is there no blue vegetables? Let me know, please. But with her royal approval, the popularity of this pizza exploded in Italy, and then across the wider world too. That pizzeria that Esposito worked at is still around, and on their wall is a royal charter which granted the use of the Queen's name for the pizza. It's one of those super fun stories, and it's the most commonly retold tale about the origin of this pizza's name. But there's just one issue with it. It probably isn't true. But before we look into why that isn't true, I want to say a huge thank to my most recent patron. So a huge thank to new patron Hal Grotke. Patreon is the best way to financially support Name Explain, and donating just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, a chance to say what names are explained, an exclusive monthly newsletter, and your name at the end of these videos. All of that can be found at patreon.com/Name Explain, which we linked down below. And conversely, if you want to just make a one-time donation, you can leave a super thanks directly in the comments section of any of my videos here on YouTube. They help out tremendously too. Thank you. But yeah, this famous story about the origin of the Margherita's name probably isn't true, and there's a few reasons why this story is most likely false. First off, there's literally no evidence of this royal visit to Naples. Naples? Is it Naples? Is the S silent? Any Italians watching, I'm sorry I'm saying your name wrong. I'll say Naples, and now I'll say Naples. So I'm at least right in some ways. Probably pronounced in neither of those ways anyway, but hopefully I'm right somewhere. But anyway, on the whole, the ongoings of kings and queens is pretty well documented. If they were our official visit to eat pizza, that information would have been kept on record somewhere, even in 1889. But I hear you all saying, what about the royal charter on the wall? Well, that's most likely a forgery of some kind. People for some time have now felt it's pretty dubious. So yeah, that probably isn't real either. Sorry lads. The other reason we believe this story to be false is down to the fact we have evidence of this kind of pizza existing way before the setting of this tale. The earliest evidence we have of a pizza consisting of tomato sauce, cheese and basil comes from the late 18th century, before Italy was even reunited as one country. But if it existed before Margherita supposedly approved of it, then what was it called? Well, it wasn't called anything. Apparently, back in the day, pizzas didn't have their own unique names. You would just go into the restaurant and tell them what topping you would like on it. This meant that when the Margherita was first invented, it wasn't called that. It literally wasn't called anything. In fact, this kind of pizza only became commonly referred to as a Margherita in the 1960s, with the earliest evidence of the name in use come from 1956 according to the OEV. That's in English anyway, it might have been used a bit earlier in Italian, but that word only entered the English language in 56/the 60s, so yeah, pretty new concept all in all. And that is way after the pizza came into being. Seriously, this pizza was going around without a name forever. Like, they're just like, pizza, does it need a name? No, we just call it a pizza. And good on them, I suppose. Good on them. So, if this story isn't true, then why did it come into being? Well, most likely as a publicity stunt to get some more attention on this pizzeria and this kind of pizza. It's a fun little story, and it comes from a time where you didn't get in anywhere near as much trouble for lying about things like that as you would do today. Do you imagine if today someone was like, oh yeah, this is King Charles' favourite lasagna, like this is the Chuck lasagna, it's the one that we fed King Charles on his visit and he liked it so much, and it's just like a little microwave job. That'd be hilarious. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start selling the Chuck lasagna just and say, yeah, this is King Charles's favourite pizza. Pizza? Lasagna. And that fake charter was also most likely whipped up to back up the story. But what's equally interesting is that we have no other explanations as to where this pizza's name came from. This story and this name for them were formed in conjunction with one another. So the Margherita pizza is seemingly actually named after this story, even if the story isn't actually true. But what's your favourite kind of pizza? Is it a simple, humble margherita, or is it a fried chicken and waffle and maple syrup pizza? Let me know the weirdest pizza you've ever had as well. I remember there used to be a local pizza place near where I used to live, and they'd put egg on the pizza, but it wouldn't crack it on top. It was like scrambled egg. It was like scrambled eggs under the cheese. It was really tasty. If anyone else knows about that, let me know, because that was wild. If anyone's ever eaten that, try it. If it's on a menu. Rule for life, if you can ever get an egg on top of your food, just do it. But yeah, that's my tangent. Anyway, let me know your favourite kind of pizza down below. And of course, share a topic down below which we could cover in next Monday's Name Explain video. It could be about literally anything, and the topic can be as niche or broad as you like. I will then choose 3 of those topics and place them in a poll for my patrons to vote on. Then the winner from that poll will be the topic covered in next Monday's Name Explain video. You can vote in that poll, as well as enjoy many other great benefits by visiting patreon.com/Name Explain, which will be linked down below, and by donating just $1 a month. Thank you. Anyway, that's more than enough for myself, but don't forget to go follow me on Instagram where I'm Name Explain YT, and don't forget to join the Facebook page Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care. Let's do this, shall we? So, how am I going to say this one? Pizza is I don't know. I'm just going to say some words and see how it goes. I feel the Margherita often get off from... Though the Margherita pizza is actually a Napoleon pizza? Say it again. Where was it? We're here. It was just called that. It was called that. What? Thank you. Bye.